Good evening. On behalf of the governing body of the City of Passaic, we welcome you to the October 22nd, 2025 City Council meeting. In accordance with Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, adequate notice and instructions for this meeting were provided via fax to the Herald News and posted on October 10, 2025 on the City of Passaic website under Council Agendas, www.cityofpassaic.com, and displayed on the City Hall Bulletin Board by the Office of the City Clerk. Pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act, be advised the City Council meeting of the City of Passaic has been rescheduled from October 21st, 2025, council meeting to Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. to be held in the City Council chambers, first floor, 330 Passaic Street, New Jersey, in person. Please be further advised this public meeting will be conducted in person and the Zoom stream provided is for viewing only and offered to the public as a convenience. Instructions are also available on the last page of this agenda. Please be guided accordingly.
Roll call,
Councilman Monk?
Yes.
Councilman Love?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello?
Yes.
Councilman Mayor?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez?
Yes.
And Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. Shall we please rise? Mayor, may we ask you to do the opening prayer?
Let's pray, O Lord, King of the universe. Thank you for this opportunity to come together in the business of the city of Passaic. We ask that you would guide us, Lord, that we may lead with wisdom and compassion, considering the needs of those who are most vulnerable and ensuring that we only do what is in the best interest of all the residents of our city, that we may serve in a way that honors you. We pray this always.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council President, members of the City Council, I make a request for a moment of silence for the passing of former principal of the city of Passaic, Carl Preach, the very first African American to hold that spot in whose legacy and community service has left an indelible mark on our city.
Thank you, Mayor. A moment of silence. Thank you.
So that can also honor Mr. Bates as well and all those who passed.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There are copies of the agenda located right outside the council chamber halls, or you can get them on your internet, which will on the city's website, which will direct you to all the resolutions, communications, proposed ordinances, etc., that will be considered tonight. You'll receive all the information, in fact, that the city council receives from the administration prior to the meeting in order to best make decisions. And we thank you again for joining with us. We are on the agenda, Roman numeral 4, Mayor's update. Mr. Mayor, wonderful to see you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. Just a few things. We have our business administrator that's on Zoom with us. I just want to ensure you're aware. Is he connected?
Yes, sir.
Business Administrator Rick Fernandez? Just to ensure that he has access. Okay, just want to make sure that everyone is aware that he is present. Council President, and towards the beginning of the month, we participated along with yourself, Councilwoman Maritza Colon Montañez, members of the City Council, and leaders from our Board of Education, community leaders, with a remarkable program held in the city, Futuros Sin Fronteras, celebrating Latino innovation and inspiring young people to know that there are no barriers or impediments to trying to achieve their goals in terms of dreaming big, going to college. It is literally translated a future without barrier or without impediments or without lines that would keep you from being able to cross forward. And we had this event, which was highlighted by the presence of acclaimed filmmaker and actor who had the #1 film on Netflix in Mexico and around the nation, Carlos Moret, who spoke to young people. Over 200 students were there. I want to thank Commissioner Abril Morales, along with Vice President of the Board of Education, Judith Sanchez. All of the commissioners and the superintendent was present, and so many others. Again, Council President was present there, and we were able to represent, speak to them, and welcome Mr. Moret to the city. Also on that day, we had a community celebration of a fellowship honoring the diversity in our city. And again, this year, we had our community Sukkot in the Park event. I wanted to thank the volunteers all of those who came from City Hall, our administrative staff, recreation, who set up. Obviously, uh, well, no, this one was Bagel Munch? Bagel Munch and Jerusalem Pizza. Jerusalem Pizza. Council President, you may have heard of Jerusalem Pizza. There's a gentleman there, Teddy, and he owns the place. The reason why I refer to is I think you go there once or twice a week, and that's why I often come up with reasons to meet with him, because he'll say, let's go grab a slice of pizza, and it's usually on him. But we had families and children celebrate, members of the community come in and learn more. Once again, we continue to provide our public spaces to all members of our community. We have had a Holly in the Park, the Wali Festival, and we also during the week had the procession, the collective procession of our Catholic parishes, including Holy Rosary, St. Anthony's, St. Mary's, St. Joseph's, and so many of our Fatima and St. Nicholas come together. They began on Myrtle Ave from St. Anthony's, and they marched all through the city, stopping at all of the different parishes and concluding at Holy Rosary Parish for a community event. The Bishop Sadarelli, actually walked the entire procession. I got to walk with him. We kept looking at each other, wondering which one would stop walking first, but he made it all the way down. Council President, he sent his regards to you. I know that you know him in the many capacities that you've served throughout the state. And he sends his regards to our community. But at the end, as always, it's a beautiful opportunity to see the diverse representation of faith within our city have the opportunity to be represented within the city. We also had on the very next day the Italian Heritage Flag raising, where we honored Mr. John Chupa, former vice principal here in the city of Passaic, a member of the Optimist Club, and who has a long history within our city, as well as the memory and legacy of Dave DiArco, who was a police officer who helped start Unico and also was instrumental in getting the monument honoring the Italian community in Third Ward Memorial Park, where you'll see the flags there. We also had our Mayor's Youth Council Mental Health Awareness Walk on the 11th of October, where we had so many students, and I believe there's about 100 students in our high school participate. Council President, from the city hall all the way around the city, on Market Street to the bridge, up Jefferson, and then back to City Hall, where there was activities, but focused on awareness, mental health awareness, resource programming, and everything that you can connect to in terms of ending the stigma of mental health and assisting young people to know that they're not alone and that their concerns are valid and that the city is here for them. We partnered with the Mental Health Clinic of Passaic and other organizations and associations. We also took the opportunity to have our Breast Cancer Awareness Month activities here at City Hall. We had the Wear Pink. We did the traditional ribbon formation in front of the City Hall. It's now become tradition. We took a photo and posted it up online, and in this upcoming week, we will be doing a tree dedication in Third Ward Memorial Park along with Miss Jeanette Santana. We had a tree there a few years ago, but because of the storm, it came down. Also a naming on the avenue right by the tree in acknowledgement of breast cancer awareness. We also had our Cops and Bobbers this weekend, which is one of our more popular activities in the city, where youth and families go fishing with our police and our fire. Council President, I want to share that this week we have been on the news. We have had some celebrities in our city. Most recently, we had Oscar nominated, I believe, a winner, Jamie Foxx, who was here in the city, hanging out, making videos and joking around in our city. He had a few choice impersonations that he chose to make. I want to share with you, as much as I am fond of doing lives and videos, it was not my video. It was Jamie Foxx's video. He did that on his phone, and then he sent it over, so it was picked up by the news and played. It was a rather fun video. I got to talk to him about the history of Passaic, tell him a little bit about the high school, talk to him a little bit about what's going on. I want to take this opportunity to say hi to Nicole, who who had worked with me many years at Pennington Avenue for over 10 years. We're very, very close friends over the years. She had gone on to bring her nursing career to different areas around the nation and now represents Mr. Fox. So a good friend, and we're very excited. And he said he will come back and pick me up so that we could fly to Dubai. I didn't know he didn't. It would be nice if he ends up watching I'm not sure. Anyway, as I was sharing, that was pretty exciting. On a different note, Council President, our free shuttle around the city to our community, I want to let you know that we're looking to change the hours. Right now, it's from 10 to about 6. But considering the needs in our community as most of our programs, services evolve, depending on the usage, we're looking to start earlier, about 7 o'clock to 10, have a window between 10 and 12 or a little bit later of a break, and then open it up again from 12 to the afternoon just to maximize and be more efficient in terms of usage. We're seeing a reduction of usage between 10 in the morning and 12, which makes sense. Most people are in school, most people are at work, but earlier on there has been a lot of demand. We're expanding into the weekend. And this free shuttle, this is the city program. Now, to be confused, though, we're very appreciative of the county. Theirs is a paid program where you call and you have to pay a fee, but this shuttle is only within the city. It is free and goes through every ward. And the benefit of it also is that it assists various members of our population, whether seniors, our youth, and those just wanting to go around and shop or get to our parks. It's specifically targeted around our UEZ zones. But again, there is a safety aspect to it for some families who want their children, especially adults with special needs, to be able to transport or travel around the city. It remains in the city. There's never an instance where there's fear that you put them on a bus and they may end up in another city or they may not know where their stop is. These shuttles remain in the city from beginning to end. They literally are stored in the city, so parents are a little more confident. They're employees through the city, through our UEZ, the drivers, so there is a connection. So we do encourage greater usage, which segues into a meeting that I had with over 40 parents of children with special needs as I was talking to them, especially about programming for adults with autism. I wanted to share with the community, with the council, and I want to ask for your participation and support that I'm looking to host the very first ever special needs job fair. A job fair for adults who have specific training. One of the areas that I suggested to the parents, many young people, especially with special needs on the spectrum, are trained for retail and for local jobs. And it is my desire to send out an invitation to all of our UEZ businesses and provide an incentive through UEZ to allow for them to hire, again, not compel. It's not how our form of government works, despite some beliefs. We do not operate like that. There's the box. But back to what I wanted to say. If they choose to hire individuals who are trained and able to work, who are identified as special needs, that may add some additional points to their application to receive funding through UEZ. Obviously, we have to vet it all, but we want to incentivize and encourage individuals to participate. And Council President, I'll be sharing in your other office some additional information of those families that I met with the children with special needs, some of their concerns, as well as perhaps have a meeting, including the Board of Education, for some of their concerns through the school, and invite council members for a broader meeting just to address as these families are coming together through different organizations to try to advocate on behalf of adults. As many of us know, many of these young people who are on the spectrum or special needs are starting to age out of the programs, which leads to a very serious concern. What will happen to them as adults? Do we have opportunities for employment? For programs, our recreation department provides adult special needs recreation and trips around the city, around the state, and even out of state. But how can we expand those services to better meet the needs of today and this growing population, especially in job training and internship? So I want to let you know that we are doing that. I want to share early voting will begin this Saturday. This Saturday, there's an election. There's a gubernatorial election. There's an assembly election. Yes, that is right. An assembly election. Is that what you asked, Council President? If there's an yes, one answer. There is an assembly election that everyone should be aware of. I won't specifically share candidates or particular parties. I just wanted to remind you that there is an election with the governor and assembly members. I'm not sure if the mic is on. Council President Gary Shea, were you able to hear me? with that? Was it clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Council President Gary Shear. There are individuals on the ballot that I ask that you consider to look at names and ensure that we continue having remarkable representation within the city. There is a vote by mail. We remind people if you have them at home or being told in general, please return them, no matter who you're voting for. Ensure that they get back in on time. Election days will be November 4th. The polls will open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., but early voting begins Saturday, October 5th or 25th. All right, that would have been very early voting. All right, Saturday, October 25th through November 2nd. We really want some votes. No, October 25th through November 2nd at a designated county site, which is Passaic City Hall. And this is early voting location. On Saturday, it will be, Madam Clerk, I believe it starts at 10 a.m. until 8 p.m.
Yes.
And then Sunday until 6 p.m. and then throughout the week, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Correct.
All right, so we want to invite you on a less humorous note. The city has been closely monitoring the impacts of the federal government shutdown. Our SNAP program, which provides food, nourishment, and assistance to those who don't have a lot of resources. We have been able to confirm, Council President, members of the City Council, that we have funding from the state through October 31st and our WIC benefits through November 10th, 2025. But there is no new 2026 funds that have yet been approved. Let me explain that to everyone. Right now, because there are state funds that are available and the state has been directing to ensure to send funding to cities in our area, especially working close through our Assemblyman Gary Shear's office in the 36th Legislative District, we've been able to secure funds for the city to November. However, if the government does not reopen, we have no guarantee that we will continue to receive funds. That means that there will be families and children and expecting mothers that may go without. And of course, we will try to do our best to meet the needs within our community, partner with not-for-profit organizations, look to creative or innovative solutions without putting the burden on our taxpayers directly. Government is intended to provide a safety net, and that's important. But we may find ourselves in crisis if things do not begin to resolve very soon. Council President, I wanted to share that we have some upcoming events, council members. October 25th, Fall Festival and Adopt a Pet, Third Ward Memorial Park, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. October 27th, Pumpkin Painting Family Night, Senior Center, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. October 30th, All-Star Abilities Field Day, Indoor Facility, 5:30 p.m. through 6:30 p.m. October 31st, Seniors Trick or Treat, City Hall, 10:30 a.m. Next week, as we have done every year, we have our department costume contest. This year's theme is Disney Universe, including everything that has been bought by Disney, everything that has ever been included by Disney. So each department can pick from Star Wars to Toy Story to Moana, whatever they want, or shows. And we're inviting council members, if they wish to be judges, to help us judge. The winner gets a pizza party, and we get excited for them. But the theme is out there. The employees get to pick the theme. I assure you, it's not my choice. And it's going to be exciting every year. We've had a lot of participation. Our clerk will reach out to the council members to let you know the hours for judging. Please understand that any additional votes to the clerk's office, we will bring up as a conflict of interest for the council members, as it is that she tends to provide a lot of food and sometimes pizza from a named pizzeria that was mentioned earlier. All right.
Mayor, you said anything Disney?
I'm sorry?
You said anything Disney?
Anything.
ESPN hosts?
Everything Disney Universe. They were adamant, Councilman Mayor, that it had to be Disney Universe. So anything affiliated with Disney, your department can choose, and that's the theme. And then the judges have to decide how to make sure that administration won. So, or rather, you decide who wins. It's up to you. Any direction you want to take. I'm just saying, I'm part of the team here. We work together. We're elected officials. Anyway, back to what I wanted to say. Our infrastructure updates, and I'll run through them really quick. Veterans Memorial Park and our baseball, softball field improvements have been concluded. The foul poles have been put up. Additional fencing, gates have been installed. The netting system is complete. The track is done. You can actually start walking on it. We're excited. That is our third rubberized track, which leads to one of the additional programs we're going to have with the special needs adults and young people, as we're going to start a relationship with the Special Olympics and ensure that we have a team and representatives from Passaic, and track is one of those very conducive sports to get them involved. So we'll have many opportunities to train. Our River Drive and Paulson Avenue Municipal Parking Lot, the final site cleanup and lawn restoration has been completed. So now the lot is open. That's the good news. The bad news is they were utilizing the parking space for the filming while Jamie Foxx was here. I think that is done. So the lot is back opening, but we were allowing them so the street can remain open. Glenside Avenue culvert improvements. The project is complete. The remove and disposal of accumulated clay and still planting of 16 trees, 92 shrubs, and 126 grass bushels were planted throughout that area. Garfield Avenue culvert improvements have been completed with the additional planting of 9 trees, 32 shrubs, and 123 ornamental grasses. It's that season. If you want more specifics on ornamental grasses, I'm neither equipped or knowledgeable enough to go into details, but I assure you that that's what I've been told they did. So back to more updates. Veterans Memorial Park asphalt pathways improvement. The project is substantially completed. Final payment will be processed in the near term. East Side Firehouse emergency wall repair has been completed, and we're moving forward. And our Harrison Street parking improvements, Pine Street to Spruce Street design has been completed. Basically, angled parking is continuing around the city, and our next project will be Harrison and Spruce Street, adding additional parking spaces in the city. There's much more, but I'm going to conclude there. Perhaps at the end of the final report, I might share a little more. If there are any questions, we are available to answer.
Mayor, thank you so very much. Questions from the mayor? Mayor, if you don't mind a question or two. I'm terribly sorry. You had mentioned in terms of providing additional resources for children who are on the spectrum, in terms of integrating them in normal business and work life. Are there any other availabilities to us? Does Trenton or the federal government offer anything in terms of assisting? If I'm not mistaken, and I can't pinpoint.
There really isn't for adults. So the biggest challenge right now, and obviously when we speak of youth, and we often consider the youngest, but when many of these children get to 18 years old, 19 years old, teenagers, some even as they're approaching those ages, they're on continued services. Yeah, a little bit more for those who are higher functioning. Maybe they'll move on to college, but there are others that are looking for vocational training or some kind of opportunity to get some kind of skill. You know, we found one organization today, as we met with them, that actually teaches individuals how to put computers together, program them, and then you get to take them home. They teach you the basics of it, and that helps out. But sometimes the funding for it is very hard. Parents can't afford to pay for the training
Can
and
I
the program.
interrupt you for just a moment?
Yes.
Not to be disrespectful. God
No,
forbid.
no, please.
But when you say spectrum, we're talking about a large.
Yes, and not just autism. I mean, in general, children with special needs, disabilities, all different kinds of disabilities. If we were talking about autism, Down syndrome, and a whole array of different challenges or different abilities, and different designations and diagnoses. And many of these families don't know where to go. They're not privy to information like others because of lack of resources. They don't have the money to pay to send their child to get a 6-week training program. They might provide them an opportunity to work, whether at a retail store, at a supermarket, or maybe in a food truck, or an assembling facility where you just assemble pieces and have a certain amount of autonomy, independence, feel productive, like they work, and a system to ensure that as they go into adulthood, families can feel confident that maybe they're not going to a program. On top of that, also additional programs, they lack funding to pay to have them go to programs that help them with socialization and being able to take trips and go to activities. There are programs around, but many of them don't provide their services for free. Minimal cost, but for families that are challenged with higher costs of utilities, and higher cost of rent, and other challenges, it becomes very difficult for them to say, I have the luxury of sending my child or my adult child to to one of these programs. So any little bit makes a big difference. But as of right now, we have not been able to find a specific source of funding or assistance that help those transitioning out of the programs, aging out as often referred to, and who still need support.
Thank you. I also wanted to compliment you. You had mentioned the change of the schedule for the
Free shuttle.
the free shuttle. It hasn't been around for that long,
No.
but it's been around long enough to see what doesn't work, and you pivoted immediately and to the benefit of all. And I wanted to compliment the administration on that.
Thank you. Thank you very
And
much.
the last thing is I wanted to know where we could get tickets for the Hector Laura Comedy Hour, if there's
That's
any
hilarious.
available.
Thank
No
you.
disrespect, Mayor, you'll forgive me, but I know that once upon a time that was something you were looking to professionally, if I'm not mistaken.
I do. Right now, I'm focused only at performing during the council meetings. Unlike other cities, we are not here all night. Thank you. Hopefully, we're not.
And other questions for the mayor? Again, sir, thank you very, very much. We are up on our agenda. Please to room number 5, hearing of citizens. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-1 et sec, the council opens every public meeting for comments of the public. However, in accordance with NJSA 10:4-12, nothing in this act shall be construed to limit the discretion of a public body to permit, prohibit, or regulate the active participation at any meeting. Therefore, please be advised that the council will not entertain any comments from persons who communicate obscene material, make statements which are considered bias intimidation, in which a person intends to intimidate any individual or group because of race, color, religion, gender, handicap, sexual orientation, or ethnicity, or makes comments intending to harass or speak any offensive language. The person who makes these statements will relinquish their allotted 5 minutes for public discussion. Is there anyone who would like to address the council at this time?
Council President, we do have one statement that was submitted.
I'm sorry, ma'am, please.
We have a statement that was submitted via email by Parker Joseph Brown.
I see that. I see it.
But he is
Gentlemen,
here, so I don't know if he wanted to say, he just wants it read on the record.
okay. I was actually looking at the other gentleman in the other shirt. I didn't realize that both of you were here. You'll forgive me, but please, Mr. Conoscenti, flip a coin.
No, it's actually your job.
Mr. Brown, we have the pleasure of having you here. Did you want to read your statement?
I don't know. Everyone has it, right? I didn't send it to Mr. Garcia because I don't have his email.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Did you want this read into the record or was it? Very good. Weatherly, is it me or you?
Your choice.
Okay. Good evening, Council President and members of the council. My name is Parker J. Brown, and I'm a resident of the city of Passaic. I have a few questions regarding the proposed concession stand at Bragg Park. Since the inception of this idea, has there been any discussion as to what types of products will be sold and whether they overlap with existing local businesses such as Taps or other nearby stores, including 3 grocery stores? I'm concerned about the concession and unintentionally compete with small business already serving the area. Additionally, what parking accommodations have been considered for the site? As you know, this area faces limited parking. Adding a concession stand could increase congestion and safety concerns for residents. Lastly, has the council considered alternative community service options, such as a community refrigerator or pantry, which could directly help families in need while still activating the park space? Excuse me. Thank you for your time and your commitment to transparency and community input. I respectfully request that this question and any related discussion be included in the meeting minutes for public record. Parker J. Brown, Jr., Managing Director, Brown Waters Productions. Mr. Fernandez, are you with us?
I am, sir.
Okay, could you like to address some of the thoughts that the gentleman has raised?
All right. So, Mayor, I don't know if you want to take this. I know this is a project that's close to your heart.
Sure, I'll
Basically,
be brief. And you can answer any specifics if Council President would permit. So in regards to whether there was discussion overlap in existing local business, yes. those discussions were had. In terms of concerns, whether they compete with existing businesses, if there is a concession stand, I would say that that would be a concern if there was a free food pantry as well, and perhaps even more if there was food being provided to the community. However, the logistics of creating a food pantry will be a little bit more difficult than this application and the funding that was available for us to go after in order to construct this. We have had the discussions and the designs in terms of putting it out there for the community. If the intended purpose of the concession stand works out, and there has been discussion, there's an existing bus stop there, and it would have to be something that would be conducive for individuals there. Yes, parking was taken into consideration, and the collective professional minds that came together from engineering, from our urban enterprise zone, from the administration, in conversation with residents, including individuals there ranging from the faith-based institution across the street, Union Baptist Church, as well as the VFW around the corner. And there seemed to be some interest. Notification went out around the immediate area. And again, we will continue to pursue this opportunity to provide something that is productive for the community, provides a service, and perhaps support existing organizations like the VFW and provide a safe space for usage for institutions, again, like Union Baptist, that is right across the street for community use, as well as for the teachers that are immediately across, whether in school 19 or up the block from school number 7. But it is our intention, again, to provide a service that is relatively unique and not competitive with existing businesses. And there won't be a hot food or things like that in the existing businesses there. We looked at it very carefully through our UEZ and the professionals. They did a traffic study as well and considered if something could be placed there that individuals who are coming to get the bus, they want to stop quickly. They don't typically walk around, but rather grab and go and run. And if those funding could go to help the community in one way or another, then obviously it would be positive. In terms of the families in need, of course, that is always the direction of the city council, my administration, and collectively, I'll reiterate, that is the goal. We had that open. It's not a project that we have come up with over the last year. It's actually been the last 3 years that we have been discussing. We actually have met with the Bragg family. We've met with the community as a whole, and we've actually had open town meetings, not only here in City Hall, but in different areas. We've had opinions. People have emailed and we've discussed it. And this was the plan. As you can imagine, no project is going to make everyone happy, but we look to see which one is the most viable. Where's funding available when we request from the state? And what can we actually do with existing programs like our UEZ? What is conducive to build or to develop or to pursue, while we are responsible and consider that we are dealing with the people's money and we must be good stewards of it. If we are going to invest in a project, we need to ensure that it serves the public good, as well as that it will have the opportunity to remain there and be consistent. Mr. Business Administrator, that's the extent of what I would share, unless there's anything you want to add or that I missed.
No, Mayor, you covered it all. When you said grab and go, those are the words I was going to use for the project. Everything was taken into consideration. This is not, unless it's a specific event for people to linger, this is grab and go.
We do want to share that we will have a plaque much bigger than the one that is present and continue to honor the legacy of the Bragg family there. We'll continue to have the name and the identity in the location. It's often referred to as a park. Some who are joining in, just to understand that before we began investing there, it was just pavers, a payphone, and a bus stop. Through our collective efforts, as City Council, my administration, we were able to add seating, ballards, trees, benches. We have held tree lighting ceremonies. We have opened it up for the public to use so that they can have barbecues, community gatherings there. And personally, having been born and raised in that exact area, grew up on Myrtle Avenue, right across from Union Baptist, I can speak directly to it that prior to it, it was not a park. There was no recreation there. There was no usage. And so many community members expressed their appreciation to the city council and to the city of Passaic for the investment over the last 8 years in the area to beautify it, to actually make it something that the community can use Over the summer, there have been tournaments, activities, chess playing. There have been opportunities, again, to host other agencies and not-for-profit organizations. And we believe this, which will continue to have the seating, allow space where people can gather, will now enhance the area and add an additional amenity that will not take away from the existing businesses there.
It has been a remarkable transformation, Mayor. Compliments. Anyone else like to address the council? Very good, thank you, Councilman.
Council President, I have some exhibits, A to 114.
If we can have your name for the record, please, sir.
Joe Conoscente. Good evening. This is the property at 147, 149, and 155. That used to be the florist that moved out because their property was sold too. Questions over here. Okay, what we got here? First question I have here, 149 Broadway. That's part of the roof coming down, trees growing on the building, which you have a gutter and the tree is just growing in there. My next one is 147 Broadway. You have the sheeting that's coming down, which is known, I got a little sample of the material. They either got it in plastic or they have it in metal that you put around the top of the roof. And all that stuff is coming down on the two buildings, 147, 149. 149, you have the backyard with the high grass junk of nonsense growth. That's all growing on the building. 155 Broadway, the florist, you have the high bushes in the front, weeds, and the high grass and garbage in that backyard. And the same thing throughout the all the pictures that I gave you. You have rotting, deteriorations, conditions. You have storm damaging. You got hazardous parts of the roof, like I stated. The one picture, 140, 147, the foundation is coming out. And then you got all this noxious growth. I mean, these are vacant buildings, no use of these buildings. And it's so much hazard. And it's an eyesore through the community. So I try to reach out to the departments, but nobody picks up the phone to find out if there's any court, if they're in any courts, or if there's any fines. So I haven't got that information yet. But something needs to be done. I don't see this anywhere else around the city. There's nowhere in Passaic Park, nowhere downtown, nowhere. You know, why we gotta have this in our community? And you have ordinances here, you know, 219, 15, about the exteriors of the properties. Used to have the groups going around in the summer, checking properties, checking sidewalks, checking everything. They just pass it by, let them get away with it. So maybe I can get an answer somewhere.
Are you done, sir?
I'm done.
Very good, thank you. Mr.
Oh,
Fernandez?
and one other thing can I bring up, different from that? About this Bragg's Park, isn't that a pocket park, as far as my recollection? One of the pocket parks? And my other question to that is, since you might change the park a little bit, are you gonna remove the bus stop that's there? Those are my other questions I have. It doesn't need a concession.
You done, sir?
I'm done.
Okay. Mr. Fernandez? Can you
Yes,
help
sir.
us? with 149, 147, 155?
Yes,
Slightly.
yes. So
Council
I
President,
actually, after the last
that
meeting,
each of you received the images of the most recent images of the property. Mr. BA, all the council members have the images. It is being displayed right now.
thank you, sir. I can see it on the screen. Thank you very much. So after the last meeting, we confirmed with the property owner and they were given notice that it was unsightly. This was taken on the 15th of October, right after our council meeting, where they addressed all the unsightliness. The reason the building is still up is because they're going to be knocking all three of the buildings that Mr. Condescending is talking about, and they are going to be creating one overall project. This council passed a redevelopment plan. Originally, it was only going to include the two properties, and then they were able to purchase the third one to do a real good property, a project that will change this area. So clearly, based on the current economic situation, getting funding is a little delayed. We are anxiously waiting for the demolition of these properties and the approval from the board. But that is a project that's part of our redevelopment plan, and redevelopment takes a little while. And I just wanted to make sure the board had with them the photograph of the most recent picture taken of that property, since I am not there to verify Mr. Condescendi's photos, but this was taken as of October 15th.
Thank you. Councilman Love, please.
Yeah, I'm
Picture the
just
height.
wondering, I think the business administrator said the 15th.
Mhm.
Oh, it's, okay, you, but, Scott Cindy, have you saw the pictures? Or have you been back?
No, I know what it is. After the meeting, when I said the grass was high in the front, that's why you see it cleaned in the front.
No,
Look
but-
look at the tree hanging off the building.
Yeah, but my question is, have you seen it? All the repairs you presented to us have all been
No, they're not.
done.
No, they're not.
Okay, well,
No, they're not. Go there, you see yourself.
I'm looking at it and it looks like
I was
at
just
least
there Sunday.
90% of them are
Mr.
done.
Condescenti, it's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I'm answering his question.
The councilman is speaking, your
Oh,
time.
I'm answering his question.
All right, so I just want to let you know that I'm pretty satisfied with the pictures that's being shown, that those.
And they show the
repairs
back
have
of the
been-
buildings.
Mr. Condescending. Yeah, the back of the building, I didn't receive pictures for,
Yeah,
but
I know.
I could talk about the front of the building.
Yeah.
Aesthetically, I think that 95% of those concerns that you had in the pictures was completed.
No, they're not.
All right, we could debate that, but
Yeah.
I won't. Thank you.
Like I said, only thing they did was cut the grass.
I was going to suggest that, I mean, I'm looking at these photographs and I'm looking at my computer screens here, and I appreciate that it is not as bucolic and as lush as I would necessarily like by my home, but everyone's home is different. And some of these things that you're bringing forth, I mean, the city has no jurisdiction here. I mean, something's got to be seriously and significantly wrong for the city to come in and cut grass and all the rest of it, right? It's not the job of the city. The city's job is to make sure that it is certainly not unsightful, but this is not what I would view as such, and I don't think that people would disagree with me. So I appreciate your concern. But compared to where we've been with some of these properties, I mean, this is light years ahead. Light years ahead. You had mentioned Bragg's Park?
Yeah.
And what was your question, sir?
My question is that, if I'm not mistaken, that's a pocket park. One of the pocket parks.
It's a park.
Opposite.
It's a small park.
Yeah,
I
a
don't
pocket.
believe-
They
I
call
don't
it a
believe
pocket park.
I don't believe Pocket Park is,
That's the name of it. That's what they call them. All the little parks that we have.
all right, so it's a Pocket Park, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
My other question to that was about the bus stop. If it's going to be taken away.
I believe the mayor, in fact, directed.
It will remain. And by pocket parks, oftentimes when we identify spaces that are conducive for passive recreation, we will place benches there, or provide opportunities for people to have tables or put up trees, and then they become a pocket park. They may not be subject to the same restrictions as our parks or open space, whether they're bodies of water or large amounts of green space. and that fall under Green Acres, but we attempt to the best of our abilities to ensure that those spaces within the city, though they are property of the city, can still be utilized for public use. And we keep them as public space, and it will continue to be public space with passive recreation, benches, seating, music, and now additional amenities. We assure you that there are no violations of any laws or restrictions, as we have full liberty to do with that property as we choose within the guidelines and laws of the municipality.
How much is, Mayor, if you know offhand, how much is being invested into this pocket park?
Council President, that is an interesting question because additionally, we were looking at a project of about $500,000. Obviously, we always apply for money, and then the cost of material, about obviously the work and the responses to what we're trying to place there came back higher. Mr. B, I think it was around 800,000 and more. And we went out and applied for additional funding and were able to receive it. But the business administrator can go into more detail. Rick, do you have
Yeah,
specific answer?
this project is completely funded by the Urban Enterprise Zone. We went to the state of New Jersey's
Sorry,
urban.
Mr. B, you can't be heard. Can you just repeat that sentence? I don't think the mayor was
The
talking.
project was completely covered by Urban Enterprise Zone funds. We went the first time to receive the $500,000, and then we went back and received the other $500,000 to complete the project with additional amenities. And we hope to have the.
Mr. Fernandez, Mr. Fernandez, just a moment, I'm sorry. Are you telling us that this whole park is being funded outside of the taxpayer dollars?
Yeah, so it's done through sales tax dollars, actually. So it's funded through the treasury through purchases, not through taxes. So it's part of the sales tax, and part of that sales tax comes back to us.
I have my cake and I get to eat it too. I mean, this is remarkable. And
It is.
we're criticizing a project that's going to cost $800,000, revitalize that whole area, make it habitable, make it something that kids want to come and play on. And this is the problem? Oh, gosh, if we get stalled by our own success.
We are very excited. That's why I started with, this is one of the mayor's pet projects. He really, really has been promoting the ability to do that. And we were lucky enough to receive $1 million to make this project happen.
Remarkable, remarkable. So any other questions? Anyone else like to address the council? I'm sorry, sir, this is not a give and take. We had you 5 minutes, if you will. Now, we'd be pleased to look forward. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. My name is Anthony Wade. I live at 79 Barry Place. I'm coming back here again because you guys, insist upon opening the reader by our house, by my house. And, you know, the way I feel about it, what you're doing is illegal. You didn't notify us. You still insist upon you didn't have to. However, there are laws that state that if the city doesn't notify us, the business owner must notify us. With that, living within 200 feet within the new business. So you guys continue to do this, and I just feel totally disrespected as a taxpayer citizen. You guys, you put down some lines. I guess we thought that was supposed to satisfy us, but it's not. We have Rita benefiting from this. You have the city benefiting from this. And the residents, we're not benefiting in any way. You guys, there's a pothole we told you about, a sinkhole that's in the street by my house. We asked you guys to come fix it. You come out, you put down a cone there. Cone's been there for 6 months. Not only that, up under where pipes supposed to be connected to draw the water out is not connected. We actually connect that. You don't do that. And then on top of that, you're going to insist upon putting a business within my community. And there are no businesses there. And I understand that, you know, you have to have revenue for the city. I understand that. However, you shouldn't keep doing it You should not do that on our backs. All you're doing is creating disruptions within our community, within mines on that one block. The neighborhood has been quiet. Now you want to put a business there that's going to open from Sunday through Friday from 10 in the morning till 10 at night with some bright, gaudy neon lights. And we ask you not to do that, and you insist upon doing it. It's really disrespectful. And so now, we're going to have to take other measures, but I think that is totally unnecessary. And like I said, I understand that the city needs revenues. However, you're the only ones benefiting from it. You, the owner, Reader Corporation. What are we getting out of it? What's the benefits to the residents of my community on the block, on that particular block, and those that are within 200 feet of this business? I've been there for almost 25 years now. It's been nice and quiet. Now we're going to add additional traffic that you guys said that you did some type of review on, which I don't believe, because obviously if you did that, you would come up there. If you come up there during the day, you will see how many cars are parked out there. And we don't have a problem with that. On top of that, we ask you to take care of the bushes. The trees, they are still there, still growing. So I know you guys, you figured you're not going to do anything about it. So then, you're going to have to do something about it. But anyway, we'll take it to another level. I know that I can't go to my assemblyman because he's involved in it. So we'll deal with it.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else like to address the council?
01, I would like to move the public portion.
There's a move to. Second. Motion and second to close. Roll call, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scher.
Yes, we're up to Roman numeral 6 on our agenda, communications, items 1 through 5. Are there any questions, please, on 1 through 5? Seeing no lights at this time, is there a motion, please, to accept 1 through 5? So moved. Motion and second, please. Thank you.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. All matters listed here are considered to be routine in nature, items 6 through 15. Are there any questions, please, on 6 through 15? Seeing no lights at this time, is there a motion, please, to accept 6 through 15?
So moved.
Motion
Second.
and second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. We're up to resolutions. Number 16 is a resolution authorizing closed executive session. Ma'am, do we need closed executive?
No, Council President.
Mr. Mayor, sir?
None at this time.
Members of the council?
No.
Very good. If we can look then, please, at items 17 through 36. Questions, please, on 17 through 36. Councilman Monk?
Yeah, thank you, Council President. On item 28, resolution awarding bike share program furnishing, delivery, and installation of single-speed bicycles. Is this part of the bicycle program we have? Is it adding more bicycles?
Correct. It's part of our UEZ and bike share program. It's completely paid by the UEZ. This is phase 2.
So will we adding more stations or just more bicycles?
More racks, more stations, more bicycles.
So how many bicycles do we have total
So 5 new racks, 10 new bikes will be added. And that would, I believe we have 6 racks right now.
We
and
have
then we can-
25 bikes right now.
No, but the racks, I believe we have 6 stations now. Is it 6, about 6 and 5 more?
So there's 5 stations with 7 racks in each, because you have to have extra racks. You have to have extra racks so that you can have the bikes in case people come in. So each rack has 5 bikes with 7 or 8 racks in each.
So in part of this bid here, I mean, first of all, I guess my first question is, these bicycles custom made, that this company is the only company that could bid on this?
No,
Sorry.
That's okay. So are these 10 additional bicycles match the original 25?
Yes.
correct.
Is it
Actually,
the
these
same
are better.
company?
Actually, these are better because these have gears, Councilman. They have gears. The first round didn't have gears. We were able to get them with actual gears. Right now, there was a single gear. These are going to have a couple of gears. So it's a fancy. I don't know if anyone is familiar when you go to like city bike. There's different types of city bikes. Like some of them are electric, some of them are single speed, some of them are multi-speed. So we've transitioned from single speed into getting 10 with multiple speeds.
The bid here says single speed.
Yeah, but we actually got a bid back for multiple speeds.
It's in terms of functions, but they do look exactly like the other bikes. They match the other bikes, yes.
Okay. The other thing, so when we bought the original 25, there was no maintenance plan at that time?
Yeah, there is. But then when we did the review on the maintenance plan, it was cheaper to go to a local service. So we're going to a local service and not using the actual bidder's maintenance plan.
So this resolution is for 2 separate companies?
No, there's a software system contract. So I'm kind of confused on the question. So they're gonna have a basic maintenance and software package to lock and unlock the bikes. That's what the one company is doing, and then there's another service provider that does your monthly, multi-monthly service. Because when we did it with this company, it was more expensive.
It's a separate company that's doing the maintenance.
Correct.
Yeah, it seems that it says here that it's being awarded to Dynamic Bicycles in the amount of $24,445, inclusive alternate 1 and the 3 seasonal maintenance. It seems that it's the same company.
Yeah. So that's 3 seasonal maintenance repairs, not your typical monthly repairs, right? So there are specific items to the bike that are provided by this company that are their company's materials, right? Like, for example, the rack lock, right? You can't go to a local service and get their rack lock because that rack lock is specifically for these racks in this company. So we have the seasonal maintenance, and then we have the regular run-of-the-mill maintenance that bikes need because they're being used constantly.
So there's 2 maintenance contracts for these bicycles?
Yeah, because if we did the whole maintenance that we needed with this company, it'd be a lot more expensive.
Uh-huh. Okay, the reason I was asking is because the seasonal maintenance here is $13,000 for 35 bicycles, 3 times a year.
Yep.
I mean, you could
Imagine if it was every month.
I say for this price, you could buy 20 new bicycles every year for this price. It's $600 a bicycle.
Now remember, you can't think of it as like your own personal bike because the amount of usage these bikes get are significantly higher than any personal, like than any person.
Okay, fine, thank you. Thank you.
Are there any other questions, please? Is there a motion, please, to accept items 17 through 36?
Move it.
Motion
Second.
and second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor, Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. We're up to ordinances for introduction and first reading. Number 37, proposed ordinance adopting a redevelopment plan for blocks 3212, lots 21 and 23, corresponding to 91-95 Paulson Avenue in the city of Passaic, New Jersey, set for a second and final reading at a meeting on December the 2nd. Is there a motion, please, to set down for December 2nd?
So move.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor, Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. Number 38, please. Proposed ordinance amending the designation of restricted parking for disabled persons by New Jersey license plate number. Is there a motion, please, to set down for second and final reading at the council's next meeting on November the 6th?
So move.
Motion
Second.
and
Second.
second. Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. Proposed ordinance number 39, an ordinance amending the city code of the city of Passaic, chapter 295, vehicles and traffic, article 16, bus stops, section 38, locations to add bus stop on Lexington Avenue. Is there a motion, please, to accept for a set down for second and final reading at our meeting of November the
So
6th?
moved, Madam
Motion
Clerk.
and second, please. Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. The bill passes. We're up to payment of bills. Are there any questions, please, on the bills? Seeing no lights, is there a motion, please, to accept the bill? Motion?
Second.
Second, thank you. Motion and second on the bills. Roll call, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. Number 10, please. Administrator's report. Mr. Fernandez?
None at this time, sir.
Very good. Mayor's report. Mr. Mayor, sir?
Very briefly, I just want to clarify that in specific remarks that were made regarding the very quiet neighborhood by the potential business, the quiet neighborhood would be right next to our train station, just so we can have clarity for those who may not be aware that are joining us what the specific areas. The business there that would provide additional lighting that would add to security as well as surveillance would be enhanced security for the residents. The trees that may have been referred to, which buffer between the train station and the residents, we have requested by the Department of Transportation and JDOT to see about the removal of them and the parks. And we will continue to pursue that, as well as want to share that the lines were referred to were specific parking initiatives that the residents were extremely grateful and supportive of. And to date, we have received positive feedback from the residents in the additional amenities that provide services adjacent to our park, where children and families from all over the city enjoy playing baseball and other activities, as well as the convenience of proximity next to, again, the train station that perhaps we want to send a letter commending the Department and JDOT and the train station for how quiet they have been, as they have remained consistent with the desire of the residential area to keep noise down, and we'll hope to be consistent with the noise and go no louder than the trains. Thank you.
Very good, sir.
Council President, I just had a question for the mayor.
Yes, please, Councilman.
Mayor, can you just give clarification on the notice policy and what took place in terms of the residents being noticed,
So
on notice, rather?
well, I want to defer, obviously, when it comes to us creating parking permit initiatives, we notify the residents in the area, ensure they have the information. But in regards to the usage of the property and whether that can be utilized for commercial purposes or to make an agreement There is no specific legal requirement to request participation of the residents in that process. However, any additional development, expansion would require, of course, especially if it's going to go through municipal boards, to ensure the residents are made aware so they can participate in meetings, give their feedback. I will say the residents were informed in terms of the station itself, that they could participate in their public meeting as they reviewed applications and discussed these potential collaborative efforts to have an additional amenity added in the train station, but they could have added it themselves at any time. Mr. Administrator, do you want to share anything on that in terms of the requirements and the notices?
Yeah, there is no requirement for a 200-foot radius notice. We met the legal requirement for our notices. Not only did we put it out in the paper when we were having the meeting, we also went out to bid for the concessionaire of that area. So the whole process was in the public forum, but under the regulations in our ordinance there for that specific site, there is no 200-foot radius notice. But again, like the mayor said, they have ample opportunity, and to alleviate the parking, as the mayor also stated, it was residential parking permits that were there that can only be used by the residents after, I believe, 6 o'clock, right, Mayor? After 6 o'clock, only the residents could use those parking spaces that were striped along that side so that the residents would not be impacted by anyone, commuter alike. So the key is that there are commuters right now that park their cars in the neighborhood and go work all day long and don't come back till late at night. This would actually alleviate not only anybody going to the Ritas, but also any commuters using the transit train stop to go to commute to work.
Which resulted in additional benefit. But Mr. Administrator, what I wanted specific was that the meetings, especially with the agency that oversees the train station, those are public meetings, and residents
correct.
would have had opportunity to participate. If you can just share a bit about that so that we can.
Yeah, so they're held in a public meeting. Our planning board reviewed the proposal with what was being placed in there, with the bid specs that were put out, with what kind of signage was going to be put there, in collaboration with the New Jersey Transit. New Jersey Transit themselves had their own meetings regarding the usage of the train station. This is not an uncommon situation. In fact, we're kind of, I would say, late to the game, because many of these types of train stations have these types of amenities already within them, but they're all held, Mayor, to answer your question very directly, in a public meeting, in a public setting, and it's noticed in the paper for every process.
So if I heard correctly, New Jersey Transit themselves held public meetings based on this project.
Yes, we went through all of the vetting process, and the transit had to vote on it with their board and approve it. It was vetted, and they have similar projects in other municipalities like Newark. Again, they have the right to utilize their space and provide space for commercial use in terms of providing amenities for those who ride. And again, we did everything correctly from the city's perspective in terms of communication, even went above and beyond and shared. And to be clear, we did Facebook messaging and told the community we were looking to put a business there, and there was no objections to it. We went out there and shared it, and this process did not occur in 1 month. The building has been, Mr. Beer, how long did they begin building out?
Unfortunately, long before the season of ice cream was over, I didn't get my misto. But in any case, it's been going on for like a year or more.
And residents were informed. Presently, you can see the sign, but even before that, residents were explaining what was going on there. Some have even come to the council meeting months ago and requested information, and they received answers. They were able to go and explore the area, and some of their own requests regarding parking resulted in, again, this additional amenity of reserved parking for residents to prevent commuters from taking up the parking. So that's a benefit that came from those meetings. So we have had meetings. Perhaps we'll reject the premise of the previous speaker's position in that the city hasn't been responsive because I know personally, even with the council president, when the issue of parking came up, the suggestion of how can we secure parking for the residents was the response from the city council. We understand some projects, everyone isn't going to be happy, but this was the project that was approved by NJ Transit. And in terms of our desire to enhance our transportation programs in the city with NJ Transit and the Department of Transportation and our bus routes that connect to the train stations and ensuring that people who are taking our trains can maybe stop, grab a little something to eat, maybe take the bus and continue through the city. We're getting a brand new substation through with a wonderful bus terminal that will connect directly to this train station. The reason why I share this is because all of this development, these applications result in additional resources for the city. When they see a city that's considering making transportation more accessible and additional amenities, whether a commercial component or a high-tech incorporation, whether through New Jersey Transit with our bus station, NJ Transit, our train station, connecting it all makes the city much more attractive for additional applications and funding to continue to provide opportunities. We now have a free shuttle that goes around the city. We have a partnership with the county for reduced costs of ride share programs where you can call and utilize an app. We have free bike riding programs so that you can get around if you don't have a car. And we now have enhanced lighting in the train station because of this additional business, which was a complaint and concern of many residents in the area of how dark it was. And NJ Transit, unfortunately, not having addressed that. But because of this business, there will be additional lighting, additional trees and bushes, as well as additional surveillance and presence there. Actual presence. When someone says it's open at 10 o'clock, that means there will be employees keeping an eye on the area, employees that could pick up the phone if they see something strange or weird going on, and that assists. There's an additional accountability in the area. And then the kind of business that's being provided, it's Aritas. This is a national brand that's recognized. This is not a business that's going to attract partying into the wee hours of the night, that music, but actually something that's very, very appropriate for a park. It's ice cream. When you go to the park, whether a baseball game or train stations, the idea of getting hot dogs, ice cream, foods like this is not unique to the city. So just want to add that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilman. Any other questions? Seeing none at this time, is there a motion, please, to adjourn?
So move.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn.
Councilman Monk?
Yes.
Councilman Love?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello?
Yes.
Councilman Mayor? Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Colon Montañez?
Yes.
And Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. This meeting is adjourned.